Good morning, my name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and yeah, I'm already starting to see people ask the question about the new Primaris Indominus Terminators and whether they can be used in 30k. So I thought, even though I don't have this kit to hand, from what I can see in the current previews we've had from Games Workshop, my opinion on whether or not these can be used for 30k. And the short answer is yes. Now, the Indominus Terminator armor was around during the Heresy. It was created, I believe, by Horus Heresy. The prototype was the Gorgon pattern suit of armor, which then went on to become the Indominus pattern that we know. Now, Indominus pattern can be taken as, I believe it falls under the Legends, and it's a troop's choice rather than an elite's, which is really weird. There's a whole thing about it where the Legends set for them is just really, really weird. The first thing you're going to have to change, and the problem here is I'm not entirely sure how this kit is going together because I have not seen the bare plastic, is the Indominus pattern Terminators in 30k use combi bolters, not storm bolters. Now, some people may say that's just a cosmetic difference, it doesn't matter, you can leave the storm bolters on. Those people are also a massive disappointment to their father, and just shouldn't be in the hobby, they should go away. Looking at the models, I'm actually going to say that these guys possibly have separate hands. If they have separate hands, it's going to be really simple. All you're going to want to do is get your hands on some Tartarus or Cataphracti combi bolters. Now, I prefer the ones used for the Cataphracti kit because they look a bit more archaic. They've got the nice round drum mags on them, and they just look a bit more barbaric. So that's the ones I would go for. That's the ones I've used for my Thousand Suns for the Tartarus Terminators, and I really like the look of them. Then the other thing you're going to want to do is they all come with, by standard they come with power fists, which is fine because these Terminators come with power fists. However, they can also take chain fists or thunder hammers. We don't know if this kit is going to come with thunder hammers or if it's going to come with chain fists. I don't believe we've seen chain fists on any of the artwork or released pictures for them. We have one power sword, which we've seen, which I believe the Sergeant can take a power weapon. Yes, he can. Sergeant can take a power weapon. Every single one of them can take a power fist, thunder hammer, or chain fist. They can also take combi weapons, both Magna and Minor, so again, look at the Forge World or 3D printed combi weapons of your choice. They can also take the Proteus pattern Storm Shield. So, again, we don't know if these guys are going to come with hammers and shields, or if it's going to split into two kits like the current one. I'm going to say that they probably will be. I just have a feeling if they can get away with selling you two different kits, they'll do it. The only difference, realistically, between these and the existing ones is they have an extra sort of bolt on the ankles, which some people are crying and gnashing their teeth about, calling it Primaris. It is a tiny detail. To me, it is the difference. You've got some of them have knee pads and some of them have like Mark 6 shin pads. That's the difference to me with this ankle bit. So yeah, if some people don't like it, fine. I'm the Indominus Terminator guy. I really don't care. That the ankle bolt on them does not scream Primaris to me. The last thing on these that you will want to get rid of, well, there's two things. One, you're probably going to want to get rid of the Crux Terminatus from the majority of them, because again, the Crux was a specific honorific for those who survived the Heresy and took part in the Assault on the Vengeful Spirit, and a lot of, again, people who've got disappointed fathers will make a lot of noise about it. And if you just want to skip the Howling Baboons, just get yourself some emery boards and just file them off. I cannot tell if these shoulder pads are separate on this kit. Some of the pictures make them look like they are moulded to the arm, which makes me think we are getting a kind of easy to build version with the starter set, and then we're getting a better version shortly after as a separate release, like they did with a lot of the 8th edition starter stuff. And I don't think the shoulder pads are removable on the easy to builds, and they may be on the regular ones. There were rumours that it was going to have a set of blank shoulder pads in there, so these could be used for Heresy. We have seen nothing of that. I do not believe that. I hope it's true. I don't think it is. So, you want to get rid of that. There is another crux on the knee pads on some of the models and on the shin pad of the Sergeant. Not a problem. Again, like I've said, cruxes just meant elite units. The second thing I was going to mention, however, is the Imperialis, which is on the chest piece, which is the winged skull. Now, the Imperialis was a symbol of the Loyalist side. It kind of became the de facto symbol of the Loyalists during the Heresy. So if you are doing these for traitor units, you're probably going to want to get rid of them. Now, what you could do is shave off the skull and replace it with some sort of eye. Find a small eye icon, 3D print one or something. That would look cool. So you get the eye of Horus and stick it in the middle there to show their loyalty to the War Master, or just shave it down with a knife and then file it smooth. I've constantly told about emery boards, and you can really get these fantastic ones. They're like Sons of Horus Green, actually. Who makes them? Basically, they come in sort of 6 different grit. And made by Modelcraft Extra Flexi Slim Line Sanders. Packs of 3, and they're £5. Those are the ones I use. They're fantastic. You've got a 60 and 100 grit on that, which is for really getting rid of plastic. 240 to 400 grit, that's the mid-range, which I use the most, which is for smoothing things down. And then the 600 to 1000 grit, that one is for really... That's the magic. So... you use those to polish them back up, and you can get the plastic back to like a mirror shine, so it looks exactly like if it had been cast that way, if you've done it correctly with the others. You don't just want to use the 60 or 100 grit and then go straight to the 600, 1000, because it just won't look good. And you can use those to get rid of those cruxes really, really well. I will pop a link in the description for those. For those of you in the UK, you can pick them up from Hobbycraft, which surprisingly is quite a good place to get junk, even though it is a bit of a normie mainstream place. If you are going to work on resin with them, wear a respirator. Resin dust is awful. Back to the Terminators. Obviously not seeing these guys alongside or realistically in bits, I can't tell you how compatible they're going to be, but looking at them from what I've seen with the one single comparison shot we've had, I think regular Terminator arms will work and not look odd on these guys. So you should be good to go with your Lightning Claws, Thunder Hammers, Storm Shields if you already have existing Terminator kits. The alternative, they all seem to have smooth backs to their Power Fists, which means you can use the Tartarus pattern Lightning Claw. And you can put that on the back and give them a single Lightning Claw if that's, the way you want to go. Throw the... what's the word I'm looking for? Can they even take them anymore? Yes. Indominus with heavy weapons. So, with heavy weapons, he can take a Proteus Assault Cannon or a Heavy Flamer or an Alchem Flamer or something if you, depending on what, any Legion options you have. The Proteus Assault Cannon is the assault cannon that's in the kit, which is absolutely fine to use. Heavy Flamer you can get off the Tartarus kit or off the existing Indominus kit. So far, no images have shown that this has got a flamer in the kit, and they haven't mentioned it. They have mentioned the assault cannon, they haven't mentioned the flamer. Little worrying. Also, all these minis seem to be in the same pose, so I think these may be an easy to build kit. Yeah. So, yeah. So, Verminator on the Outer Circles Discord asked if the Forge World Indominus pads will fit. I don't believe they will. I don't think but like they did with the Blade Guard in the Indominus set. You got 3 Blade Guard in the Indominus set, they were easy to build, and then you got 3 multi-part in a separate release. That is the situation I think we are getting with this. However, that being said, I have a Dremel, and plastic fears me. So, yes, those pads will fit. Any pads will fit. Aggressor pads will fit. You just have to know no fear and get yourself a rotary tool. Basically treat your miniatures like a 14-year-old fat German kid's teeth at the dentist's. You just get drilling, so, you know, anyway I started blasting, and you can convert anything. And it's even more liberating when you realise you can do it to out-of-production miniatures, expensive resin, you know, limited edition plastics, the works. It does drive you a little cuckoo though, you know, you need to adapt to that. You'll start doing it, you'll start looking at £800 limited edition models and going, I can swap that head out, yeah, that's not a problem. Just make sure you got the skills to pay the bills. So, I think what we're going to get with this is probably a 5-man Stormbolter Power Fist squad with the Sergeant with the sword and the assault cannon in the 10th edition starter set. And then a couple of months later, I think we're going to get a 5-man proper set with options, which should have all the options that the 40k Terminators can currently take, possibly all the close combat stuff, which again, all transfers over into 30k. The Sergeant can take a pair of Lightning Claws, he can take 1 Lightning Claw, he can take all of the different sort of standard weapon options. So if you've got any of the Terminator upgrades from Forge World, they will fit. He can take a grenade harness, which you can get from the Tartarus and the Cataphracti kit, and it will sit just on top of him. I don't think they can take a Vexilia. Oh, yes, they can. Augury Scanner, Vexilia, and Nuncio Vox. Those parts you can all get from the Mark 6 Tactical Squad accessory sprue, and they will all fit. You've also got a Lightning Claw in there you could possibly use with them. So if you're like me and you have 120 something Mark 6 Marines, you will have these left over. One little thing I like to do, even though it's not technically allowed, I do like to add chain bayonets to my combi bolters for my Traitor Legions because they look cool. They look a bit brutal. I do also like to add stuff around the waists of Terminators to make them bulked out a bit. These guys are much better, they don't have the skinny waist as much. But things like grenades, even though they technically don't have grenades, as far as I know. Yeah, I don't think they've got grenades, it just looks cool. Purity Seals are on the models. You can leave them on there, you can take them off. Purity Seals in 30k are just Oaths of Moment, which were basically the Marines making an oath to say, hey, I'm going to go down on this planet, I'm going to kick some guy's teeth in, you guys are witnesses, I said I'm going to punch that guy in the face so hard he shits out his dentures. That's all they do. So the more loyal your troops are, the more of these they're going to have. The more veteran they are, the more they're going to have. Because they're not going to stop at like, hey, I'm going to kill 10 guys this battle. No, they're going to put out an oath of moment that says, hey, I'm going to go and kick Fulgrim between the legs because it's funny. And he's going to slap that on. People are going to witness him. And that's going to be there till the end of the heresy. When Fulgrim actually enjoys getting kicked between the legs. So, as I said at the beginning of the video, long story short, this Terminator kit that is upcoming is absolutely fine to use for 30k if you put the effort in to convert a few bits. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Thank you for watching the last video. Thank you for putting any comments you put on my videos, and thank you for taking part in all the little community posts I put. Looks like Blood Angels are winning at the moment. See who I'm going to be adding 5 multi-melters to. I have some of the classic 40k Devastator multi-melters. They are on a mixture of Mark 7 bodies, which I'm going to remove and put them on the Mark 6 modern tactical marines, and I just want you guys to put a vote in and tell me who should get them. As I said, Blood Angels seem to be winning at the moment, so go and add a vote to them if you fancy seeing some Deathwing, what are they called? Death Company themed 30k Blood Angels with multi-motors. Right, my name is Bando. This is Brexit Bando. You have a great day.